Welcome to the July study page of my botanical diary. And for this month, I decided to do a study page of the plant and the flower Agapanthus. So we grow this in our garden. So I thought it would be nice to finally do a study page and hopefully a project, a bigger project afterwards. So as usual, I write down all the informations and then I start drawing. So as you can see, I always start with some shapes. So this is like a funnel shape flower. So I start with the funnel shape and then I add the petals inside, and then I will erase the lines afterwards. So if you sort of draw like this, starting from shapes, it would be easier to get your shapes, your flowers right. So it's just a matter of practicing, really. And then I'm looking at the stamens and counting them and see how they, what the actual shape is. And so this is how you sort of approach drawing this type of flowers, because the Agapanthus is is made of this bunch of flowers all together, and it might look a little bit intimidating. So what I do is I actually draw the flower in all different directions, and what you see here is I draw it in another page, and then like a simple paper, like printer paper, and then I trace it on tracing paper, and then I transfer it onto my sketchbook. And I made all these different drawings of the flower in different positions, and also the buds as well, the flower buds, so that when it comes to draw the actual sort of the entire group of flowers, it would be less intimidating, because you've studied already what the flower looks like from different directions. And here I'm just as usual opening the flower up and studying the inside of the flower, just to understand really properly the structure of the flower, so I can see how many stamens there are, what they look like, and then also the ovary, what it looks like, and the color that they have. So I'm just basically taking notes for all of these elements. And you can see here the corolla is just one. The petals are all fused together at one point. So this is one characteristic of these flowers. And the stamens are actually attached to the corolla, which normally I find that this type of flowers where the corolla is fused, the stamens are usually attached to it. And then I noticed that there was this beautiful butterfly going to feed on the flowers. So I thought, I'd take a picture, because I don't like to kill butterflies. So I work from pictures to paint butterflies. And I took like 100 pictures, and I managed to get some which are good for my drawing. And I quite liked this one, so I thought I added as well. And it would add, I think, a nice touch to my final painting if I manage to do the final project. And this butterfly is called Cleopatra butterfly, and I've seen it before. Last year I saw it as well. So they like apparently Agapanthus. So they are the pollinators, I suppose, for the Agapanthus. And then after I finish all the drawings, I do drawings of different parts of the flower, so the flower buds and when it's opening and so on. And then I start applying color. So I have a record as well of what the flowers look like with the color. And it's also a way to study, to practice applying color. And I don't go all the way like to refining these flowers here in the sketchbook, so they're a little bit rougher than I would do in a final sort of big project, but it gives me the idea of what the flowers look like, and all the other elements as well. So I do add some details in the flowers, in the different parts, but it's not as as many details as I would when I do a finished project. And I've added paint to the flower buds as well. They're not as detailed as they don't have as many details as the flowers do when they're closed, but it's also nice to have a record of what the flower buds look like. And I like to add different stages. So there's from when there's a little flower bud to when it becomes a bit bigger, and so on. And this really helps, this study really helps to see what the flowers look like when they are just isolated. So when you go and paint the big bunch of flowers, you're not so intimidated to do this work, because you already studied each single flower. You saw where the light and shadow falls and all that. Of course, when you have the light, for example, coming from the left hand side, then the flowers on the right they will have light and shadow, but they will also be darker than the flowers on the left, because there's less light that hits them. So hopefully this is clear, but imagine like a sphere. So this bunch of flowers, this group of flowers, it would be like a sphere. So if the light comes from the left, you will have all the part on the right hand side that will be darker than the left. And this is the flower bud before opening. So I'm not sure actually if that's called a flower bud, because that's what contains the entire group of flowers. I suppose you will say an umbrella of flowers in this case. I'm not sure. I need to check this out. And then I painted a flower scene from the sort of upright from the side, but I don't think you will ever get that type of view when you paint the entire flower head. But again, it's nice to do it just to study how the petals are and how the light falls on them and so on. So it's I would advise anyone to do this type of work for flowers like this, or like hydrangeas, for example, and that are the same type of composite flowers. It's a good thing to do. It looks like you might think that you're wasting time, but it's actually not a waste of time. It's actually a good thing to do, to study each flower separately. All right, so this is the study page, the finished study page. I've added a seed pod with the flower still attached, and I'm waiting for the seed pod to develop so I can add another stage of the seeds. And I've added the flower with the bee, and I've done some flowers with some parts with the ink. So the open flower, the section of the flower, I've done it with the ink, and the other flower bud that is opening, and I've done some with just a pencil. And I will try and do a few more flowers from the big bunch there, but I'm not sure if I have time to do it. Don't forget to like and share the video if you liked it, and I will see you in the next videos. Bye bye!